Beautiful people. How we doing? How we feeling? How we living? Happy, what's today? Thursday. I decided to hop on here. It's Thursday. My roommate's not here. I'm bored. I don't really have anything to do. I could clean something, but I ate dinner and I decided to just hop on here and make a video and maybe see where it goes and see, maybe I'll upload it. And I kind of want to talk about my journey into getting into nursing school. I actually start nursing school next week, the 23rd. Today's the 16th, so I start next week. It is coming it's so crazy that it's here. It's finally here, but it's a long time coming. And my journey is kind of interesting, so I thought I'd kind of share. And I know there's a lot of people that are interested in like other people's journeys and how long it took them and this and that. And maybe my story can help somebody out there, you never know. So I thought I'd go ahead and share. I got my little, I don't know if we're supposed to, I don't know how, see, listen, I'm new to the whole YouTube world, so I don't know if I'm allowed to share what school I go to. But I have my little letter here when I got accepted, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so my journey. By the way, I have ADHD, so I'm like, I can like run off on a tangent, so I'm trying not to do that. I'm gonna try to just stick to what I want to talk about and what I want to say, and that's it. So basically, right, so if I'm going to talk about like how I got in my journey, I kind of have to go all the way back to high school. If you don't know, I'm 24 years old, so I graduated high school like 5 years ago. I graduated in 2013. Oh my god, no, 7 years ago. It's 2020. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. 7 years ago, which isn't a lot. Like, I'm young, but I'm just like, dang, like that's crazy. Anyways, so I went to a non-traditional high school, right? So freshman year of high school, I went to traditional high school in the state of North Carolina. I went to Ragsdale High School. Sophomore on, I went to the early college at GTCC in Jamestown, which basically, a lot of them are now called like dual enrollment, which means that you take high school and college classes at the same time, and potentially you can graduate with an associate's degree. My mom worked for the school system, so she knew all about these cool like magnet schools and these different types of programs. And she told me about it, and I was like, yes, I was gung ho, like, let's do that. That seems like the move. That seems like a smart thing to do. So I did it. So I had already started taking like my Englishes. I took psychology, I took sociology, music appreciation, all like the fluff stuff. So I started doing that. And high school is around the time where you start to think about like, oh, what I want to do, what I want to be. And at first, I knew I always wanted to work in something that dealt with people. I knew I wanted to, help people basically. And I thought of nursing. Nursing was like the first thing that came into my mind. But I think a lot of times, especially I think that a lot of like the stigma of nursing, like nursing school, there's like this negative connotation that, oh my god, nursing school is so hard and only smart people get into nursing school, and you have to have straight A's to get into nursing school. You need to really have a plan B because you may get in, you may not get in. And it's sad that you hear that from like advisors, like, maybe you should come with the plan B. I don't know, you know what I mean? So I kind of like made it up in my mind that I wasn't smart enough to go to be a nurse. I didn't have the intelligence that is needed to get into the program, let alone finish the program. So I thought to myself, okay, well, maybe I should go for something that's still kind of healthcare related, but maybe not as hard to get into that program. So I thought maybe dental hygiene. I love, seeing people with nice smiles. That could be a good thing to do. So long story short, didn't get into the program, but I did get into the dental assisting program. And most times at this school that I was going to, you can bridge into the dental hygiene program easily. So I did that, but life and God had a different plan for me. And I did some volunteer work with my religious organization. I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And so I moved to New York for a volunteer opportunity. I was there for 2 years. After only graduating from dental assisting school for like 6 months, I worked for 6 months, and then I went to New York. And, I did my volunteer work there. Worked in completely different field. I was volunteering, in the food department. I was a waiter. So, life just kind of took a turn, and I was doing my thing, volunteering, happy as ever. And then the project ended, and I was assigned back home, back to the field. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Well, thankfully, I had, my dental assistant that I was able to fall back on. So I started working. But I realized really quickly that I did not want to be a dental assistant for the rest of my life. Not knocking dental assistants. Being a dental assistant is not easy. And it can be a very fulfilling job, but I just knew for me, if I wanted to, I knew that at some point I wanted to elevate myself in the workplace, and that I wanted to have a job that I could see myself doing for, a long time, like see longevity in, and also something that I could, support a family as a man, you know what I mean? Just like to support a family with a wife or whatever if I decide to get married, So, yeah, I guess I could do a whole rant about dental assisting and the pros and the cons, but that's not what we're talking about right now. But anyways, so long story short, now I'm like 21 years old at this point. I've graduated, assisting. I've done my volunteer work with my religious organization. So now I'm 21. I didn't go to college. I didn't get my undergraduate degree. So I was like, okay, what do I do now? So once I got reassigned from New York, I moved to Georgia. I was in Georgia for a year. I was like, I'm not going to go to school for, here. I'm not going to go to school here when I know that I want to move back to New York. Moved back to New York. I've been there for about a year. Now by this point, I'm like, 23, 24, 23, 24. And then I decided to go back to school. So, let me just say, when it comes to getting into nursing school, right, there's so many requirements, and every school has different requirements. Some require you to have all your prereqs done, take this really, intense test called the TEAS that I could talk about later, and then like off of a point system based off your grades and how well you do on the TEAS test and some experience, whoever has the highest points, gets into the program, right? And some programs only have 30 seats, some programs have 60 seats, some programs have over 100 seats. It just depends on what type of program you're getting into. My school, thankfully, basically was like, you really don't have to have your prereqs done. All you have to do is take the TEAS test, which is that exam that I'm talking about, that intense exam, entrance exam that most nursing programs require you to take. So take the TEAS test, and whoever has we're just gonna take the first 100 people that has the highest scores, and that's it. So thankfully, this classes that I took back in North Carolina and at the community college transferred, and I took a few classes before taking the TEAS and stuff. So I kind of already had some prereqs done, but I think this go around, man, I totally skipped, did I skip me changing from dental hygiene to, let me go back. So I moved back to New York, right? And I realized, let me get back in school. Let me go and, go for this dental hygiene. But then I realized that I don't want to be a dental hygienist. I don't want to clean teeth all day. Granted, that's not all that a dental hygienist does, but clinically, that's what that's your job. And I just wanted to do more than that. And I think it took me being older and just more experience and seeing how far I've come. Moving to a whole new state by myself and accomplishing everything that I said I wanted to accomplish. I think just having more confidence in myself and knowing that I could get into nursing school, I think that helped me out a lot. And I think that's an important thing for you too. Like, whoever's out there, if you, whatever you want to do, I think it's just so important that you believe in yourself. I think having that confidence and that go-getter mentality and that perseverance is so important. Don't let no one tell you what you can and cannot do. If you want to do something and if you're willing to put in the work, you do it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So, long story short, I was like, no, I don't want to be a dental hygienist. I think I want to switch it up. And after talking to a lot of friends, and that desire to become a nurse kind of came back within me. And I thought, you know what? I can do it. Look how far I've come. Whatever I put my mind to, I do it. And that's it. So I changed my major to nursing. And I went online at the school and saw what all the requirements were, and saw that all you had to do is just take this TEAS test. And I was like, all right. So I put in the work. I studied. I'll do a video on how I studied for the TEAS test too if you guys want. But yeah, and now here I am. I am in the program. I start nursing school next week. It's literally insane. Like I remember when I got home and they had told us like, oh, you guys you'll hear like around like the last week of October. And literally like clockwork, that Monday I get home and I go upstairs to get my mail, and I see that, you know, my school is like in this big little white envelope, right? And I'm like, oh shoot, like normally like like when they deny you, they don't give you like a big old envelope. So it was like a big white manila envelope. And I remember like ripping it open, and I saw this, congratulations, and I was like, yo, you boy got a business school, that's it. Like, Nurse Dre, report to the nurses station, that's it. Like, I was so over the moon, and just very like proud of myself, and just thinking about how far I've come, and you know, like I'm telling you guys, like, I'm not a straight A student. I'm not the smartest person on the block, but what I am is I'm a determined individual that, you know, when I want something and when I want to do something, I do it. And I do it at any means necessary. I sacrifice what I need to sacrifice in order to get to that point. So it took a lot of studying. It took a lot of like, you know, not going out with friends, and just like now I'm here. So I guess I'm saying all that to say, and in this video, like, what is this all about, right? All this that you're telling me. I guess I'm just here to tell you, like, you know, just believe in yourself. I think it's so important that, you know, that you be your biggest cheerleader, and also know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. You just have to be willing to put in the work. So that's it. That's my story. That's how I got into nursing school. So hopefully, you know, you guys got inspired from this. You know, let me know down below in the comments how you feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can share it, do whatever you want to do. And yeah, so I'll see y'all when I see you. Bye.